So throughout this video, I'll be showing you what I'm doing in just this little spot here, and how that has sort of helped me to reflect on the things I've done last year, the things I want to do this year, and yes, just being grateful and mindful of this life I'm creating. Mindfulness can really start anywhere. And because we're talking about growth, and I'm referring to the garden of our mind all the time, I think mindful garden moments is the perfect time where you can build these mindful practices that will help you to live more consciously and take in this whole concept of slow living, being in the natural rhythm of life with little moments of consciousness, and where you can practice mindfulness, creativity, and partake in all of these things. Everything life has to offer is right there in your garden. It doesn't matter if you're noticing a small little ladybug or if you are working to clear a bed. There's no obligation to push through unless you're a landscape designer. But I can promise you that those small moments in there is what's going to help you feel more grounded and inspired. And in time, it will help you to think more clearly, to balance out everything, and to just find little joyful, happy moments. And I also want to remind you that this year we are going to focus on blossoming and growing into the people we want to be. And that part of you that sees the plant grow and flourish and flower is going to help you feel so much better. Gardening in general reduces anxiety, depression, ADHD, and all kinds of other not so well feeling symptoms. And if you just take a walk along your garden paths and run your hands over the tops of your plants, it will help to reduce anxiety. And we don't just have to grow things that we can eat or enjoy or use as healing. We can really only use it for pleasure, to look at, to enjoy, and to cut off and put in a vase and admire in your home. Now I'm adding these into the vase that's always standing on my kitchen counter. And I've noticed that these just live on and on and on in a vase. This means we also need to clear away some clutter, remove the broken pieces, brush away the dust, and make a space for what is to come. I don't know if you're going to take on a new garden project or if you're going to take yourself on as a project. Are you going to improve one of your skills? Whatever it is, ridding yourself of the old thing brings new clarity. And if there isn't room for this new thing to come in, then nothing fresh and exciting can take root. And whatever you are trying to grow can only blossom and grow if you get rid of the past. And of course, all those old growth bits are part of the past. Now, in last week's video, we looked at me clearing one little spot there, and if you don't know this yet, I started clearing that spot shortly before New Year. As we were waiting for our new visas to come through, but I was so stuck in my mind that all I could think of doing was this repeat action of cleaning and clearing and cleaning and clearing. That led to a sudden epiphany of how much the rubbish in our lives takes up space and doesn't give us any enjoyment anymore. But like I picked those old branches and put them in a little vase that I could put somewhere, it not only reminded me of the cleaning and clearing work I just did, but it also helped me to see that with a little bit of work and a little change of mind, my entire perspective could change about this thing. So I literally cleared the garden of my mind as well. And to be able to blossom and grow this year, you will need a few things. I'm not going to list everything here, but let's talk about clearing space for your dreams, removing things that no longer create joy in your life. I want you to make that move into unfamiliar territory and stretch your boundaries to reach for the things you really want. You'll also need to prioritize and elevate your own wellness. To do this, I have updated some of the resources in the file share page that you can find in the tab above our website or in the Open Studio sessions. These are designed to help you become your best version. And whether you're still struggling to overcome those dream-crushing weeds, or whether you are still picking out weeds after all these years, taking that real relaxed approach to your work will help you to see the bigger picture. We cannot create when we are stressed or worried about the outcome. And you can always fix something, especially if it's been in your sketchbook. And that is why you need that sketchbook. You need that place to mess around, make mistakes, and have ugly work. And every ugly piece will evolve and become something better, as long as you keep on practicing and set aside those fears with every single page. Everything is relevant, and if you've got a big dream, then you can take charge, feel ready, and level up. Now is the time for you to do this and to make sure you have loads of mindful creative practices so that you don't neglect your own desire to create. We must help ourselves activate the right brain, and gardening is a wonderful way to do that. Not everybody in our membership is able to create the type of art that you see in galleries, or maybe their fantasies of creating beautiful art, but what they're creating now isn't living up to that standard. But if you've been following along, you know that I always encourage you to keep on practicing, to do things over and over again until you get better. It's like next week's video, we'll look at how to draw carnations, because this month we have the carnation as our inspiration, and carnations are all about this new beginning. It highlights the resilience and love and healing and all the beautiful things we can have if we don't focus on the bad, but focus on making a comeback. Reflecting on areas of your life that deserve renewed appreciation, just like the carnation, will give you an understanding of how you can bloom again. By acknowledging the beautiful things in your life, you could consider this as an old-fashioned thing. But so often these old-fashioned things are overlooked in exchange for the more modern go-for-it thing, where people tend to forget about how they've got where they are today. Now, when you explore the attributes of the carnation, you'll understand that it is filled with resilience and especially in difficult times. That's why so many times flowers are given to people who are going through things or to people who are celebrating things, and to encourage you to make sure that you visualize yourself as this entity that's blooming despite the challenges. And to notice that there are qualities and strengths and things that will help you flourish in adversity. Resilience isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving with grace. Much like the carnation goes through its times and trends, so too you will go through your times and trends and the seasons where you could grow. Now, when I first planted this yellow rose, I immediately knew I had to do at least one blog article about it. And if you want to find out how the Lady of Australia, in particular, this, what was its name again? Let me look that up. Oh, there it is. The Lady of Australia with this rose named the Brun Lady. I fell in love with the fragrance, with the look, with its rapid growth and its constant bud making attributes. And I knew that this flower, this rose, this yellow golden rose with its pollen that just attracts bees, will be something good for our membership. And every time I walk past this rose, it smells divine. And it reminds me to go back into the community, to have a look at who has posted a comment, who needs me, who has reached out, and see how I can help you, no matter what you are going through, what you're getting up to, what you are gearing to learn this year, what you are going to create. The things that will make you happy are the things you'll discover as you start, as you make that start. Because I know you feel so inspired to blossom and grow this year. All you have to do is find that space where you're going to do it in. So, go to the Open Studio sessions and watch the videos as you follow along this month. And it will be filled with information about creative, conscious, mindful living so that you can live a creative life filled with all your heart's desires. So that will have to wait here for me until I have my next break, where I'll probably draw or color in some of it. And I'm also having a look at some flower seed packets that I'd like to sow in some of the pots that I just cleaned up.